President Museveni, we find ourselves in a unique position, not just as a region, but also globally. The COVID-19 pandemic and the current Ukraine-Russia crisis have also exposed Africa's vulnerabilities. It is very clear now that self-sufficiency would secure the region from the adverse effects of global shocks. Now, what are some of your proposals, though, to reduce external dependency on products such as vaccines, where Africa has been caught in the middle of particularly the COVID-19 vaccines, pharmaceuticals, wheat, edible oil, petroleum products, among others? Excellency.
Your Excellencies, the heads of state, and the distinguished guests, before I talk about this crisis, which is good, the crisis was good because it woke up people who are asleep. So it's good. But you need to understand very clearly the strategy of integration. There's no way in a modern economy you can achieve prosperity if you don't solve the issue of market size. If you are a producer of a good or a service, the more people that buy from you, the better. That should be very clear. And we should stop wasting time by listening to all these other groups. That's why from the 1960s, our elders, Mwalimu, Mzee Kenyatta, were struggling for the integration of East Africa. Secondly, if you want a laboratory of success or failure, you have two laboratories. Free of cost, you can just go and study them. There is the United States of America, which is a new country, which did not exist 400 years ago, but it has now been one of the most powerful countries in the world. Why? Because of partly market size, the issue of market integration. Neighboring United States, you have got Latin America. Latin America is a very rich area in terms of natural resources. Big rivers, minerals. You know how rich South America is, those countries. But you see how the people are suffering. They are always flocking to the United States to escape poverty. Why? Because they are disorganized. They are organized in such a manner that if you start a business in Nicaragua or Honduras or El Salvador, it can't succeed. The business will fail. And if the business fails, it means you can't create jobs. It means you can't progress. So really, it should be very clear that integration is not just politics. It is survival. It is survival. And it's not for the politicians. I'm very glad the private sector coming in. Finally, you are. Because if you look at the integration of Germany, the unification of Germany, before 1871, Germany was not one country. Germany was 39 kingdoms. Prussia, there were 39 of them. but they were united by the business people. There were business groups in Prussia called Junkers. They are the ones who said, no, we can't succeed, because if you try to go from Prussia to Saxony, because they were independent at that time, you have a tax. So they said no. They are the ones who made a revolution, backing Bismarck for the unification of Germany. So I see that you're also waking up. That's good. Now, on the issue, to add to what His Excellency Kenyatta said and what Her Excellency Samia said, all those points they made are very crucial. Infrastructure, the post-harvest, they are very crucial. But there's also the issue of policy. Policy can make things fail. That's what I want to add to what they said. You see, for instance, a country like Uganda easily produces food. In Uganda, it's not easy food is easy to produce. And in some seasons, we have a lot of maize. But when we have a lot of maize, we have a lot of this, we have a lot of that, then because of the what do you call them, NTBs, non-tariff barriers, then you find, like the other season, we had a lot of maize, we had a lot of sugar. It couldn't be sold easily in East Africa because of the NTBs. Now, because of that, the farmers left maize. They went to other things. Now this year, oh, there's a crisis. But I have already left maize. Nilikuwa nafikiri kwamba hakuna soko, so niliacha mambo ya mahindi. So I think we should be very, very strict on the issue of, and the other time I told Her Excellency Samia how I had pressure from my inefficient rice growers. There are some people who are trying to grow rice in Uganda. I don't know why they grow rice. Me, I don't eat rice. Me, I eat my food, my mutama, I don't eat rice. But they grow rice. They try to grow rice. Now they're telling me, mpunga wa Tanzania umetuua. That Tanzania is producing a lot of rice, which is cheaper than their inefficient rice. So I should put a tax to stop Tanzanian rice from killing them. I said, please don't tell me that nonsense. If you can't produce rice cheaply within Uganda, migrate, go to Tanzania. Because how can I force Ugandans to buy inefficient, expensive rice for the sake of those inefficient farmers in Uganda who don't know how to grow rice? So that issue, let the market really be free. If it is free, then the list, like Tanzania is producing a lot of beans, a lot of that mpunga, and they should specialize in that. And then somebody else who is producing something better does it, so that we protect our people. Now, coming to the issue of that Chinese lady said.
Yes, Excellency. Coming to the issue of the COVID-19 pandemic and its effects,
I normally see her on the Chinese TV.
COVID-19 and its effects on the continent and self-sufficiency.
COVID-19 has really done a wonderful job. it has shown that if you are foolish, you die. So that's good. Because I am a Christian, and as Christians we say, love your neighbor as you love yourself. So for me, I took it literally. But when Corona came, I approached many of my Christian friends. We are Christians. You send us vaccines. They said, please, you wait first. So then what happened to the Christian doctrine of loving your neighbor as you love yourself? So it's good that we had these crises. For instance, if you take vaccines, it's not just vaccines. In Uganda now, they have woken up. They are talking of the pathogenic economy. Pathogens, these germs and all those sicknesses, they are a problem, but they are also an opportunity. Actually, in Uganda, we had started quite a bit early. When we had AIDS, we built a factory to make ARVs for AIDS long ago, and it has been there all this time, and also malaria and so on. But now we are upgrading that effort. We are doing the vaccines, doing the research. We don't. There's now a new trick of what they call finish and pack. That somebody should make the vaccine, then you come and pack it here. For us, we are doing the research from base, all the 9 stages, and we shall pack our vaccine, not other people's vaccines. And these vaccines for human beings, corona, for all the other vaccines, and also for, if they are not patented, if they are patented, then we shall see how to negotiate with the patent holders. But also the vaccines, the therapeutics, the medicines, the diagnostics, all those must be made here. It's a lot of money. So it's a lot of jobs also. Now, then you come to fertilizers, you come to the soap making, the palm oil. We have the capacity to produce all those, and we had started, but we are now moving in all those. Now, coming to the fuel crisis, the high cost of petroleum, that is also presenting another opportunity. Fortunately, in Uganda, we had already started manufacturing electric cars, electric vehicles. We had made prototypes long ago. We were not talking about the crisis, but as part of our transformation. So our vehicles are called Chira. Chira is the name for the Nile. That's what we call the Nile in our local area. And I was surprised to hear that when you hear His Excellency Salva Kiir, that actually it means Salva Nile. That is his name. That's correct. But that's what we call it in Uganda. We call the Nile Chira. And we are already making those buses, Chira buses. So we are now going to upgrade that system, that project of making electric cars, so that we really forget about, we minimize this fuel. We have petroleum, of course, in Uganda. We have found some petroleum. It's going to come out in a few years. We have got a pipeline with Tanzania to export it, and also process it within Uganda. But so we shall take advantage of that petroleum, but our petroleum will still be expensive because petroleum in the whole world is going up. Even before the Ukraine war, petroleum was going up. Why? Because of the fear that in 20 years' time, fuel for cars will no longer be needed. So there are no new investments in exploration. Therefore, the limited reserves which are there are now very expensive. Even ours, when we start pumping it out, it will be expensive. That's why we must migrate from petroleum cars, diesel cars, to electric cars. And somebody said, I think it was Mr. Mwangi, he's a sharp businessman, I'm happy to see that. He talked of the minerals. I think His Excellency also talked about His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, that the minerals which we use to make solar power electric batteries for cars are here. They are all here in Uganda, in Congo, niobium, all those things. We have them. Lithium, we have them here. So we are going to make those cars so that we have got clean energy and but cheaper also, because before the petroleum crisis, our Kira bus was using 360 Uganda shillings per kilometer. The other diesel bus was using 1,600 shillings per kilometer, 5 times more expensive than the electric bus. This is before this crisis of the oil. Now, last night I said, you calculate how it's now much more expensive. So therefore, really, especially if we integrate, because you see, you need size. You need size. So on your China TV, you emphasize the issue of encouraging the Africans to unite. That China is the one you work for. There are 1.4 billion people. If I was in China, I would be a billionaire by now. How can I produce a product which is bought by 1.4 billion people and I don't become rich? So integration is very crucial, and all these opportunities are there, and we shall take advantage of them, but with a good market, the East African market. Let's perfect it. Other things will be very easy. We have got everything. We can become a United States of Africa instead of becoming a Latin America of Africa. Thank you.